In today's video, we're going to be looking at different lenses that you can get for your 1300D or your 2000D, different lenses for different situations, so do not go anywhere. So despite if you've got a 1300D, a 2000D, a 4000D, 2000D, whatever the D that you've got, there's lots of different lenses that you can get, and it's really helpful to know which is best for which one. Now with the 2000D, for example, you tend to get a kit lens a bit like this, an 18-55mm, which is a nice all-rounder, especially when you're starting out in photography. I would definitely say these cameras are more for photography. This nice 24-megapixel camera does have, interchangeable lenses. You can have an attachment on top for better flash, so it does have a flash on the top. Easy buttons there, and a nice screen on the back, so you can play around with the settings and the ISO and the shutter speed. But my massive recommendation is play around with the settings and experiment with your camera, and just the more pictures you take, the better, more familiar you will get. So what I like about this, it's easy to use, and I would say when you first get your first kit lens, which usually comes with the camera, I would say it's really good for photos, and I would recommend actually put it into manual mode. You can get used to adjusting the focus from the front end of the lens, so you can really experiment with different types of photos. Now, if you want that nice wide angle shot, you want to start with the 18mm, and that will take a nice little shot. And I've found for photos, if you're taking photos of family and friend, something like set it to 24 or 28mm, and that gives a really nice shot. And you can use either the viewfinder on the camera or the screen, wherever you find more easier for you, depending on what photo you're taking and how you like to use the camera. That's what I like about these sort of cameras. You can sort of play around with them, and obviously a lot of us are used to our phones now. So I'll definitely think about that. And so I'd think about, actually, if you want something that's further away, you may be taking pictures of maybe an animal or different objects, or you want a more angle shot. I remember going on a day trip with some family a couple of years ago, and I took some nice angle shots, more narrow, and I would get something like the 75-300mm, and I'll show you that now. And just before we carry on, if you're getting value from today's video, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I make weekly content on the best cameras for creators and hobbyists. If that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and a massive shout out to our doggy Rosie over here. Say hello, Rosie. This is the 75-300mm, which is a nice lens if you want a nice angle shot. You want something to take a photo from further away, and that's a really nice camera lens to use with your camera. And I will show you how this goes on. So here's your 2000, 4000, 1300D, and you click the button there and gently hold down the button, turn the lens, and gently off it comes. There it goes. It's all off and ready, and there is the body in all its glory. Take off the safety cap of the lens that you're using, and then gently find the red dot, I don't know if you can see that, and and then match the two red dots with the body and the lens. Gently feel them connect nicely, and then gently turn towards that left, and there you go, you've got your 75-300mm. This is a nice lens. This takes some really nice photos. You can get one of these for about £100. All the things I'm talking about today, there'll be links to these in the description below, so go and check them out. Everything we're talking about today will be in the description, and this is a really nice lens. If you want something that's a bit further away, I find it's a really crisp lens, and it's a really nice lens to take that really nice photo. And what I like about this, it just gives you a bit more range, a bit more creativity. It's really nice to have a couple of lenses if you're playing around with different, different types of photos and stuff like that. But then what I would say, actually, if you want a third lens, you might want what some people call a pancake lens, like something like a 24mm, and then you don't have to mess around with the zoom or anything. You can literally just turn the camera on and just click your photos, and off you go. So these are different things to think about when you're taking your photo. Please feel free to ask your questions in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them on this camera, what lenses to use. There was quite a few lenses to get with these cameras, depending on your situation. And obviously, if you want to take wildlife photos, you don't have to get the most expensive camera in the world. You can literally get, I believe, I'll try and put it in the description, it's something like the 700mm lens, and you do get different brands of them, and that's fine. And again, just experiment, and they will take some really nice long shots of you know, birds or trees or whatever you're taking miles away. And again, my massive recommendation for all these cameras and lenses is just a spare, man. Just take lots of photos and just see what you do. And thank you so much for watching. And in a moment, I'm gonna give you 2 end cards. I'm gonna bring you even more value. If that sounds interesting to you, I'll see you in the next video.